question is, have we ever worked with somebody here? Let me rephrase that, since we don't, we're not actually doing any therapy. Have we ever had a guest who came with Parkinson's disease and left without it, or with less of it? And I think the answer is, as far as I can remember, we've never seen anybody with Parkinson's. As far as I can recall, we've never had anybody here. However, Herbert Shelton, who fasted some 40,000 people, supposedly, over about 50-year career, claims to have worked with people with Parkinson's on various occasions with success. And I have no reason to believe that it couldn't heal under ideal conditions. And the whole point of fasting is to simply get out of the way and give the body the optimal conditions to cleanse and heal. Therefore, I believe it should certainly be possible to eliminate Parkinson's in the same way that we eliminate other similar kinds of conditions like MS, other things that are serious, that are neurologically oriented. Those conditions heal. The body balances itself. The brain chemistry balances. I don't know what the cause of Parkinson's is, but the good thing is we don't have to know. If the body can heal, this is simply the most efficient and effective way, virtually irregardless of the condition, right? Whatever it is. If the body can heal, it's going to heal more efficiently and more effectively as a result of fasting.
You're giving the body the opportunity of that possibility.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Other questions about Parkinson's? I can't really speak, very intelligently about Parkinson's because I've had little experience with it.
It's quite difficult for the body to assimilate the medicine.
Right. Well, in almost every case, virtually every case, you wouldn't want to fast while on medication anyway. So someone would need to be willing and able to get off the medication. Even if they didn't need the food to assimilate it, you wouldn't want to take it anyway, because the medication is always and only treating symptoms. And so there's little chance of real healing happening as long as you're propping the body up with the medication. You need to get off of it, let the body get the garbage out of the system, and then have a chance to actually deal with the underlying issue.
And they may be frightened to come off the medicine because then they'll deteriorate.
Oh, yeah.
That's the risk, isn't it?
That's right. You're absolutely true. It's absolutely true. Many people probably would be too frightened not to come off the medication, to walk away from their doctor and medical treatment. The only people that we'd be likely to see would be those people who had been doing it for a while, been getting treated for a while and not getting the results they wanted, and who'd finally realized, this isn't helping me very much, if at all. I'm willing to try something else. It's the same with cancer. We don't see a lot of people with cancer because most people with cancer are petrified, and so they stick to conventional medicine, even though conventional medicine has terrible results with cancer. Chemotherapy has, something I saw said it has a 7% success rate. I think it was 7%. 93% of the time it fails to help, and it's always incredibly toxic and harmful. Who would take it if they knew that? Interestingly, cancer doctors unanimously say, not us. We won't take chemo. If I got cancer, they've said, when asked, I would never take chemotherapy. But they prescribe it. You know why? Money. And chemotherapy is different than any other drug. Most drugs, doctors are prescribing the drugs, but people are going to buy them from the pharmacy. Okay, the doctor's not getting paid directly. Now, the pharmaceutical companies, don't think for a second they're not lining doctors' pockets. They are. There's been a lot of research on this and information into the underhanded practices. There are even doctors who are now paid spokespeople for pharmaceutical companies who are just reciting scripts, have no experience, don't know what they're talking about. I certainly can't say that every doctor has no integrity or doesn't want to help. Obviously, there are many, many good people who practice medicine because they want to help people. There are a lot of other people who are in it for the money and who will do anything to get paid. Personally, I would say it's completely immoral to promote something that you have no knowledge or experience with. And that's happening all the time. Okay, these doctors are getting paid a lot of money. Because when a doctor stands up at a conference and says, this drug does this, this is good for you, and acts like an expert, other doctors pay attention. And that's what these pharmaceutical companies are banking on. And they're doing it because it works. It increases their sales. But chemotherapy drugs are different. Chemotherapy drugs, the companies that make them sell them to the doctors wholesale. And the doctors turn around and resell them themselves for whatever they want to. They can mark them up. There's no price. They can sell them for anything they choose to sell them for. They make a lot of money selling chemotherapy. Okay? I don't understand why it's not illegal to do this. It should be. And I think, I'm actually very laissez-faire. I believe we should have as few laws as possible. I'd like to see the smallest government we could have. I think government is pretty much terrible, and the less of it we have, the better off we are. However, there are places we need the government to help, and because people trust doctors and medicine, there need to be laws that say what medical professionals can and can't do. Okay? I think this is one of those places. There needs to be some legislation. Because this is terribly immoral, and a lot of people are getting hurt because they're believing doctors who don't know what they're talking about, who are only saying what they're saying or doing what they're doing, like selling chemotherapy, because it's profitable, not because it's good for somebody. The truth is that none of these drugs are good for anybody except the people getting paid to sell them. It's toxic garbage that can only treat symptoms. Now, there may be times with cancer where it's so far advanced, you need to take something to kill the cancer cells. The problem is chemotherapy kills just as many people as it does cancer. So there are things out there like cannabis oil, okay? The oil from marijuana plants, which is toxic. People who promote it say it's not. That's silly. It has toxic ingredients. However, it's much less harmful to the body than chemotherapy. So if it succeeds in killing cancer cells and without doing so much harm to the human, that's a lot better than chemotherapy. There may be times where you need to do something, and that's a lot better than conventional chemotherapy or radiation, in my opinion. That's what I would do if I felt like I needed to do something. Fasting, the first thing I would do is fast. If I did not succeed in stopping the progression, if I didn't eliminate, at least stop the progression of the tumor, I would then look for a way to kill the tumor without, a 93% chance of killing myself at the same time. Because I'm definitely not gambling on chemotherapy's odds. No, thank you. I don't go to casinos and play games where the odds are 93% in the house's favor. That's stupid. You want to throw your money in slot machines, go ahead, but the odds are you're not going to win very much because it's a fixed game. Chemotherapy is no different. The odds are not in your favor.